Good morning and Happy New Year. It's the 3rd of January 2026. Welcome to the Fleecy Needles podcast. My name's Laurel and I'm coming to you from the capital of Australia. We've got a nice bright sunny day out there and there's a lot of neighbours moving around, so sorry about the ambient outside noise, but that's what happens when you live in the suburbs. So I hope you're all well and you got to have a bit of a rest and a relax over the Christmas period, whether you celebrate or not. Welcome to you returning viewers as well as new viewers. It's great to see you all and have you here spending some time with me today. A week ago I put up what I thought was podcast number 8 and it turned out to be a short, so that was telling you about the Christmas Day and Boxing Day cast on. And I'll show you the progress on them, plus two others that snuck onto the needles in the meantime as well. Then I will talk about my instant gratification, which is a couple of purchases that I've made. And then I'll send you back into the past because I did make a video in June. Around that time I'd become unwell. My health took quite a few difficult detours for a while. And yeah, back on the straight and narrow now. And I did get to spend a month in New Zealand last year, so that was a massive highlight. I've done a lot of knitting during that time, just wasn't feeling well enough to get in front of the camera. So I will start off with what I cast on Christmas Day. I've got all my stuff on the floor, so excuse me bedding down. So on Christmas Day, I decided to do the classic toe-up sock by Emma Do. I got this pattern off Etsy, but she's also on Ravelry as well. And so I've made the sock and it's in Crochet 4-ply sock yarn and the shade is 25. Really pleased with how it turned out. This is the first time I've done Judy's Magic cast on, so I didn't realise straight away that you actually had to do one row of knitting and then the other knitting through the back, so I will work on that for next time. Really easy pattern to follow. I still managed to get a few little holes in the corner, you know, at the top of the gusset there. So if anyone's got any helpful tips on how not to get that hole there, please leave them in the comments. I'm sure a lot of people would find that really helpful. When I got to the bind off, it was the first time I've ever had it happen, but it was too tight. I can't actually get it over my foot. And my youngest, he's got similar foot size and he is the same. So I'm just going to have to undo that and bind it off a bit looser. But I'll put them back onto the long needle because it was quite hard doing the cast off on the 9-inch circular. I prefer to do socks with 9-inch circular. I just find it really easy, really quick. Okay, so that was my first cast on, so halfway through that project. And then on Boxing Day, I decided to cast on the classic raglan cardigan, and I got this from Vintage Express AU on Etsy. Beautiful cardigan, and again, I'm just picking up everything off the floor. In my wonderful shoebox, because I have a cat that likes to get into my bags, and I don't know if you've seen the story. My cat likes to hide in boxes. My cat loves to hide in boxes. She tried last night, but this is one way of keeping my yarn all together. So I've started on the back of this cardigan. Loving how this is turning out. This is a beautiful, beautiful 4-ply bobby yarn from Willowvale Wool and Yass, and it's called Chopman Ice Cream. So it's just absolutely lovely, so nice to work with. Jenny calls it a novelty yarn, but it's really, really nice. It's not splitty, it's really tightly plied together. It's just lovely to work with, so really enjoying that one so far. But on the 27th, I found that Stephen West had released the Icelandic shawl from for his Hyber knit along. And I instantly fell in love with that one. So you can do that in 4 or 8 colours. I've chosen to do mine in 4, and I have done it in these 4 colours. Sorry, I'm a little bit clumsy this morning, and I'm hoping the colours show up really well for you. So I started off with the pink, then the white, then the grey, and then the dark lilac. So I did not put this down for 3 days. I just am totally engrossed with it. So I'm using the, Peyton's, not Panda, 4-ply acrylic, the baby, and it's really ultra soft. It's just beautiful to work with. So yeah, really enjoying that. And it's 100 grams, 420 meters. So it's 60% acrylic and 40% nylon. So it'll be really great to have over my shoulders while I'm doing a bit of study this year. So really enjoying that one. That's just so much fun to do. And Stephen's patterns are really easy to follow, and love all the colors that he uses. And just check out his video on it from a couple months ago when he released it. Some of those color combinations that people have used in it are really quite stunning. So the other one that jumped onto my needles unexpectedly was the Dawn boots, and they are so easy to make. I do suggest you read the pattern through properly before you actually start. There's a few things with the sizes and that it just took me a little bit to work out, but really pleased with the result. I've got massive feet, by the way. I have a woman's size 11, so I've done the extra large size in these, and I've held 2 10 plies together, so 10 worsted weights together. But yeah, I had made the pear in less than 24 hours, another knit that was just really addictive. I showed my family what I'd made, and my younger sister said, "Oh, can you make a twin pair? I really want a twin pair." So as soon as the green yarn comes back in, I will get that and make them up for her. But I used the Spotsaver print from Spotlight, and it was the green and the tweed mixed together. So really, really pleased with how they turned out, and so quick, so quick. So that's all the cast-ons that I've done, and I'll just show you a few things that I've purchased in my instant gratification, because sometimes that's just what we need to make our day. And then I will send you back to that video in the past. So during my time away, I did end up making the Stephen West Mystery Musicale. I did make it in cotton. I'll show you that in one of the future videos, but it ended up being quite a large shawl. So what I've done is I've bought these from Kmart. I think they were about $15. So because that shawl's so big, I'm actually going to go and grab another set. And I have a cat who gets quite upset when she sees any jumpers blocking on the floor downstairs, and I recently made a new cotton top for Christmas and she attacked that. So trying to get all the cat claw marks out of that was not fun. So what I'm doing is I'll get another pack of these and put them underneath my bed and have the door closed if I've got anything blocking, because she's a little terror. Yeah, so they were a really good find. Only, as I said, I think they're only about $15. So, and you get quite a few of them, so it's really, really good. So that's one of the things I got. And then just before Christmas, I ran into Jenny again at the bus depot markets. And this is an 8-ply bobby yarn, which is superfine merino, just like the mint ice cream, but that was a 4-ply. This is an 8-ply, and this is the color steel grey. Jenny dyes all of her own yarn, so she does a wonderful job because they're really saturated with color. So not quite sure what I'm going to make with it. It's either going to be a cowl or a scarf. I'm not sure how that will go yet, but yeah, looking forward to that. Even just holding it is just like brings you joy, because it's just such beautiful, beautiful yarn. So that is all I'm currently going to talk about. I'll send you back into the past. You will see that I was unwell. That was sort of like the start of everything going downhill for a bit, but hopefully it won't be too long, and you enjoy the rest of your break before you have to head back to work. And happy knitting, and we'll see you again soon. Oh, please like, subscribe and share. Have a great day. Bye for now. Good morning, everybody. What am I wearing? It is the Colour Joy jumper from Knits by Jessica Jade. It has been the most fun knit I have ever done in my life. So cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, Good morning everybody, welcome back to Fleecy Needles. My name's Laurel and it's been a while, so it's great to see you here again. Anyway, with your introduction, I was wearing this wonderful Colour Jeweled jumper by KnitsbyJessicaJade. She's on Ravelry. This was a test knit that I did a couple of months ago. I absolutely love this jumper. It's just too hot to wear at the moment. That's why I've basically taken it off straight away. So with the pattern, you have the front and one sleeve in one colour, and then the back and the other sleeve in a different colour. I had enough just to do the whole jumper, and this is the Quick and Thick Easy Lion brand in the Hudson Bay colourway. So it's nice and chunky and I just love it to bits. This jumper has been by far the most fun knit I have ever done in my life. I did do it in the size medium, so as you saw it was a little bit snug on me. My gauge was slightly off, so I ended up going to the 10mm needle, and so it was going to be a little bit wider, but also my length was a little bit short, so I ended up doing a few more repeats of the pattern in both the body and the sleeves. With it being a medium, I did do a few more increases than what the pattern had done, and that was during the test knit, which I'll let Jessica know about as well. But yeah, overall it was just so much fun and so easy to knit, and I absolutely love it. So hopefully I can lose a few kilos soon and it will fit me a bit better. So, but yeah, I love it. Super warm. So yeah, that's the Lion brand Thick and Quick, or Quick and Easy yarn that they have. So that's really good. So anyway, I am just so excited, so I'll stop gushing quite so much so you can understand what I'm saying. Anyway, so how have you all been? Great to be back. Life has been exceptionally rude and got in the way of me doing any filming whatsoever for the last couple of months. So hopefully now we're back on an even keel and I can show you what I've been up to and hopefully inspire you to give knitting a go, and show you some of the great fibre artists and wool producers and people who've got knitting accessories around the Canberra region, because I am coming to you from the capital of Australia. So yeah, let's get on and I'll show you what I've been up to, apart from being behind the camera. Anyway, so I have finished a few things. Haha, drum roll. So quite a while ago I showed you this gorgeous yarn from Bumblebee Yarns. It's a 80% superfine merino, along with the 20% nylon, because it is a sock yarn, and but it's too pretty to be putting on your feet. So I made up my own pattern of this, which I have written up. So it's just a lovely little scarf for you to have, and probably clashes a bit with my top, but yeah, me not being a fashionista, I'll just show you how lovely it is. Got that garter stitch edge there on the border all the way around, and once I washed the scarf, it's super soft. Absolutely in love with it. So it's a Bumblebee Yarns, and it's an online store from Barrel in the Southern Highlands, and she has lots of beautiful yarns, as well as different blends of wool as well. So yeah, go and have a look at her store. I'll add it in the description as well. So I have written up the pattern, just waiting for my son to have a bit of free time to do the photo, and then we'll get that pattern up soon. So I have actually registered Fleecy Needles, so it is an Australian business now. So just trying to find that insurer before I go live with the patterns coming soon. Okay, so really pleased that it's done, and it's super light, but at the same time it's really warm as well. So that's number one. Oh well, it's actually number two, because you saw this test knit first. So then, I have never really been a big person who does crochet. I know what a crochet hook is. I sort of can put a few things together vaguely. So I had some cotton left over. So this is basically just, I'm going to use it as a dishcloth, because that seems to be the going trend at the moment. And I was quite pleased with how that turned out. So that's number one. And then I had some sock yarn. left over. So this is the acrylic and nylon, the tadpole, what was left over from that. So I've made that up, so that will be another one. And then my son said, oh, it's getting cold, Mum. We are actually finally getting frost now, which has been quite a change since the last time I saw you, where it was still in the high 30s. So I made him a blanket. So I've just got so much here, I've just got to move things around as I'm getting them up to show you. I haven't done the ends in yet, but this is my first attempt at a crochet blanket. Yeah, so I just cast on 150 stitches or a chain, and then did whatever magic it is. I'll just do that a bit closer. I have no idea what stitch you would call it, but I'll call it crochet because I used a crochet hook. So it is a Spotsaver print from Spotlight, and I think it's the animal color, and it's a 10-ply yarn that I have used, but it's really light. And one of the big reasons that put me off doing crochet for a long time was I found that fabric was always way heavier than if you were doing something knitted, especially if you were doing a cardigan or something like that. But this blanket is super light, so really pleased, and it's keeping him warm and snug while he's reading his book or playing on his iPad. So yeah, so that's another thing that's been finished apart from having the ends woven in. So we'll throw that one to the side. For my main work that I do markets, and I have a little sewing business, and I've been doing a little bit of knitting on the side just to see how knitted products would go while I was at the market. So I've been making a few beanies, and now it's cooled down here, and especially down when I go to markets in Cooma and that, I get to sell some of my beanies. So I'll show you my wool ones first. I had been trying a few videos back. I said I was going to try and learn how to do continental. Yeah, it just screwed around with my head too much. I was like worse than an octopus on steroids. I just could not get the hang of it. So I've gone back to my normal way of knitting, and then just not really following a pattern, just doing what the wool tells me to do. So this is Australian wool on this little beanie here, and then just showing you a few. These are all Australian wool, and this is my pixie twist beanie that I am still writing up, but once I get all the photos done and everything, it will show you how cool it really looks. Well, I know I'm biased because I designed it, but yes. And this is the white version, the medium version, and then I have a light blue version. That's a big version, large version, so that's really cool. And then this was just some random QuickHudson and Australian wool that I had left over for that one. I also found from Kmart of all places some really cool, well, I think cool because I love colour, acrylic yarn. And I'm calling this one the Licorice All Sort because I think it's so loud, so cool. So I've made 2 beanies in that one. So there's, so yeah. And again, I just do what the needles tell me to do. And it's, this one's another cool one. I think I made a similar one that was what first started me doing these YouTube videos for Fleecy Needles. I think this was one of the first ones I did. So. And then the last colour, which I think is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see somebody walking around with this beanie on. So yeah, so they go into my stock for when I do markets. I'm getting a lot of feedback on how cool they look. So yeah, and I've sold a few of them now. So that's awesome. So right, so that is all. Oh no, still got some more finished product. So if you're liking my videos, I'm sorry I'm talking too fast. I get a bit nervous, and it's been a while since I've done them. So I can't remember if I showed you these. These socks I made for myself. These are the 64 stitch done on 9-inch circulars on 3.75. I use the Crazy Lady Sock Ladies pattern that she does a YouTube video for. Again, I just use the 1x1 rib. For some reason, if I do a 2x2 rib, that it's the whole top is really, really loose. So that's a tadpole one. All of these are tadpole yarns. I just can't remember the colours of all of them. This one is Wonder, and I think I'd done about that much of the first sock on my last video. So these are extremely loud. Even for my standards, when it comes to pink, it's very loud. So very happy. And now that the frosts have come, they are getting hauled out to be worn as well. So, and then this was because I'm addicted to this yarn. It is 80% acrylic, 20% nylon tadpole, which you get from Spotlight, and this color is Joy. So really, I know they're not even, but I've got big feet and I just need to use up the whole 100-gram ball. So that's my sock collection for the time being. I'm on hold now. I've done my sock knitting for a little bit. So yeah, really enjoyed the sock knitting, but then I thought, no, winter time is really starting to hit. It's getting colder. We need to have some new jumpers and everything. So apart from that test knit, which is going to be great on those days when it's super windy and super icy cold, I've done a few different ones. So this one's a little bit tricky to hold up. I'm going to put a photo on it because when I print off patterns, I don't do the picture. But I'll put a picture in for it. This is the Sophorine. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And what I've done with this one, it can be a vest, but you can also add sleeves to it. And I had made this, use this yarn for something else, and it is the Scandi Soft, and it is the color Denim. And then I'm just trying to find that the doesn't say what it is. Oh yeah, it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So I've got two strands together while I'm making this. It's turning out really well, and I must admit I haven't hardly done any top down, but seeing that join at the shoulders, I am so proud of myself. Yeah, because that's worked out really well, but some of my increases and decreases are looking a bit dodgy, but yeah, super pleased with that. So we'll see how that goes. With this pattern, it's also got bust shaping in it. I'm a little bit nervous about trying that. I might do that on the next one, depending on how that one turns out. But due to going through the menopause mayhem, I have been watching Nancy Wheeler from Lip Sip Happy, and I'm going to try, when I get a little bit further down on the sides, to do those slow increases so I can get a little bit more room towards the bottom of it. But yeah, that's a great little tutorial that she has on one of her videos, of just to help your tops fit you a little bit better. So that's the Sophorine, and I'll add a photo in, hopefully, if my editing is getting a little bit better now. So just got to pick this ball up. Right, now this cardigan, whoa, sorry, I've just dropped the pattern, just half a second. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, this pattern I got a couple of years ago, made a lovely cotton cardigan out of it, and I loved it so much I thought, oh, I'm going to make another one, but I wanted it bigger so that I could layer up. Again, with menopause, you get hot, cold, so if you can have something to layer, it makes things a little bit easier. What I've done differently with this one is I haven't added the patterns into it, and I used a completely different yarn. I am using the Lion brand Soft as Butter in the colorway Ice. So I ended up going up 2 needle sizes on here just to get gauge, and I'm really pleased with how it's working out. However, I have run out of yarn for the arms because I think the bag that I had the yarn in, I must have used it for food shopping and something has leaked in a bit and some of the yarn has been spoiled for it. So because we take out reusable bags everywhere we go now. So I have to go and get some more yarn to finish off the sleeves, but hopefully it won't be too much of a change in the colour when I put it together. So, but yeah, so that's turning out really nice. Very nice, easy knit to do, and quite impressed with how I actually got the bands done up. I'm getting a lot more confidence now that I'm actually just sitting down and concentrating, and then I'll divide. When I put the band on, I ended up folding it in half and putting a marker in, and then folding in half again and putting more markers, and then dividing the stitch count, and to make sure that I could have the right amount of stitches within those markers. And that little tip has been helping me have my knitting a lot more even, and the finished product is just working out so much better for when I'm doing that. So really pleased with how that cardigan is coming along. So only 2 more to go. I hope I haven't chewed you off too much. So my son has asked for a jumper because he likes the sweatshirts, but he'd like something that would be a bit warmer but a bit lighter to move around in. So this is the pattern that I'm using now. So it's a nice cable jumper for him. He's only 12, but he's very tall. He's as tall as me, and his dad's 6'8", so he's got a bit of growing to do. But so at 12, so I've done the front on it. So that cable is turning out quite well. I'm using the wrong yarn for it. This yarn I've had for many years. I can't remember the brand of it. I know it's an acrylic one, and I've made it up in about 3 or 4 different styles. And you'd either have the arms were too long, or it wouldn't fit really well, or there'd just be something and it just wasn't right. And so I did a swatch and I got it fit, and he loves the colour, so just making it up in the soft cable. Yeah, as I said, the back's done, and most of the I've probably got about another 2 cables to go before I split for the sleeve. So really pleased with the progress on that one. So yeah, and he's going, are you finished yet? You finished yet? It's like, now this is the last one that I have got, because that one is quite like, that's an 8 ply, whereas this one is a 10 ply. So this is a pattern called Etsy. When I do the patterns, when I print them off, I don't print the picture off, so I'll add a photo with it. But again, I had made this up in a vest last year when I first finally came out from my rock and I learned about top-down knitting. I found a video called From Made in the Moment, and Emma does an amazing tutorial on how to start doing a raglan top from top down. So I made it. Yeah, the colour doesn't suit me, and the fit was okay. Again, getting back to the menopause, my shape has changed again. So I tried it on a couple of days ago, and while the body fit really well, all of this, where the raglan goes, it was just all sloppy and blah. So I undid it and found this Chunky Easy pattern. And it's both for males and females. And I thought that would be perfect, so I can use up that yarn. And when my son saw me making it, he goes, who's that for? I says, you. He goes, oh, I really like that colour, Mum. So that's going to be really good. So, and I mean, I've done the back in 2 days. So it's a really easy knit. It's done on 6.5mm needle. So that's what makes it so much good. And even the previous jumper, I'm doing that on 5s or 5.5. So it's so nice to get some of those bigger garments made up a lot quicker, like after using 2.75s with the sock knitting, and even like the 3.75s on the scarves. So really nice to get some progress on some of the bigger garments. So hopefully you've enjoyed the content today and I haven't spoken too fast and you can understand me. So yeah, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. So have a great day and happy knitting. Bye for now.